Hi, I'm John Mayberry with Real Property Management, and today I'd like to share with you some of the issues we run into when dealing with tenants, and in fact, these are issues that every landlord would run into. And the first is a late rent payment. So some things that we do in our business to avoid tenants paying their rent late is provide them with as many options as possible to pay their rent. So our tenants can pay their rent online through their tenant portal. Tenants can bring a check into the office. The only thing that they can't do is give us cash. We will not accept cash for rent payment. Next up on the list is non-payment of rent, when tenants just decide not to pay the rent. This usually circles back to an appropriate screening process to place a qualified tenant. If you're not placing tenants that are qualified, that don't make the necessary income, they're not going to be able to afford the rent, and therefore you won't receive it. Now, people will fall on hard times, and that's unfortunate. It's something that we've discussed before in our eviction videos and things that we can do to avoid that and how to work with them. But if we have a qualified screening process, the non-payment of rent issue usually will not be an issue. Maintenance issues are one of the top problems we run into. This is easily prevented with preventative maintenance. If we get into the property before a tenant moves in and we're able to replace supply lines and replace things that are just starting to look, maybe they're still working, and they haven't quite broken, you can save yourself a lot of time, money, and headaches if you just go ahead and bite the bullet and replace it now and not wait for it to break. Because as soon as it breaks, it's going to cause you exponentially more money and more issues down the line. Going to take your time, emergency calls in the middle of the night. It's just so much better to handle the problems before the tenants move in. Another issue that landlords are faced with from time to time is that the tenants are not properly caring for the home. We suggest that tenants, for instance, clean the carpets at least once a year, preferably every 6 months. So our annual inspections are a great way to stay on top of that. We're able to get inside the property at least once a year, sometimes more often, to do a full inspection of the interior of the property. Now, it's not necessarily to look to make sure that the tenants are taking care of the home. And a lot of times the tenants will just learn to live with little things that are broken that you as the landlord would like to have repaired. It's little minor things like a window vane that broke or a leaky faucet. And these are things that you as the landlord would like to have repaired to protect your investment that the tenants don't want to bother us with. But there are things that need to be done, and our annual inspections are a great time for us to get inside and make sure that we can get those things taken care of for you. Finally, it will be very easy for your tenant to violate the lease agreement. Our lease agreement is based on the California Association of Realtors lease agreement. In addition to that, we have about 8 pages of addendums that they're required to sign before they move in. Proper communication between the landlord and the tenant, and effective communication so the tenant understands what they've done and what provision in the lease agreement they've violated is critical. And they're things that are easily rectified by making the tenants understand what they've done wrong and explaining to them before they move into the property what is and is not allowed, rather than just sending them the lease agreement saying sign here and then letting them go. Thanks for watching the video. If you guys have any questions about anything I've discussed today, feel free to give me a call or send me an email.